You think you've seen it all in professional wrestling? You think you know where the line is? Well, what happened this week on Monday Night Raw just shattered every single boundary you thought existed. CM Punk crossed a line so brutal, so savage, so absolutely unforgivable that the entire wrestling world is still picking its jaw up off the floor. And now, the bloodline might have no choice but to reunite for one final stand. This is the story of how a family was torn apart, and how one man's words might just bring them back together for the most personal battle we've ever witnessed. But before we dive into the chaos, I need to ask you something from the heart. If you're new to the SLAMZONE family, welcome. And if you've been here before, you already know what we're about. We're building something special here, a community of wrestling fans who live for these moments, who crave the storytelling, the drama, the intensity that makes professional wrestling the greatest form of entertainment on the planet. So do me a favor, show some love right now. Hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell because you do not want to miss a single breakdown, a single moment of what's coming. And drop a comment below telling me what you think is going to happen next, because this story is far from over. Indianapolis, Indiana. March 2nd, 2026. The crowd is electric, buzzing with anticipation because they know what's coming. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the man who won the Royal Rumble and chose to face CM Punk at WrestleMania 42 for the World Heavyweight Championship, is about to come face to face with the champion himself. And you can feel it in the air, you can sense it in every corner of that arena that something massive is about to unfold. The lights dim. The music hits. And out walks Roman Reigns with that familiar look of absolute dominance etched across his face. He steps into the ring, raises his finger to the sky, and you hear it echo throughout the building. Acknowledge me. The crowd, they're torn. Some love him, some hate him, but everyone respects what this man has accomplished. He's been at the top of this business for years. He's main event WrestleMania after WrestleMania. This is Roman Reigns and he demands your attention. And then, just as Reigns is soaking in that moment, the music stops. The arena goes quiet for just a split second. And then, the unmistakable sound of Cult of Personality tears through the speakers. CM Punk emerges with the World Heavyweight Championship draped over his shoulder, and the building absolutely erupts. This is his show now. Raw belongs to CM Punk, and he's about to remind everyone exactly why he's the best in the world. He walks down that ramp with purpose, with confidence, with fire in his eyes because he knows what Reigns said about him on social media. He knows the disrespect, and he's here to set the record straight. Punk slides into the ring and these two titans are standing face to face. You can feel the energy radiating between them. This is personal. This goes back years. Punk grabs the microphone first and he doesn't waste any time. He tells Reigns he's not interrupting him, he's actually doing him a favor by feeding his ego and giving him the spotlight he so desperately craves. The crowd pops because Punk knows exactly how to work them. And Reigns? He fires back. Hard. He calls Punk by his real name, Phil, and the tension just skyrockets. He tells Punk he's got thin skin, that he can't handle criticism. He brings up the tweet he sent after Elimination Chamber where he said Punk looked tired, where he told him to enjoy his final month of relevancy before WrestleMania. Reigns points out that Punk only returned to entertain certain demographics and maybe sell tickets in Chicago, taking shots at Punk's fanbase, at his motivations for coming back to WWE. And then he goes even further, saying Punk acts happy in public but complains backstage, calling him out for being fake, for being two-faced. And then Reigns delivers one of the most brutal lines of the night. "You're not CM Punk, you're just a punk-ass bitch to me." The crowd gasps. Some cheer. Some boo. But everyone is locked in now because this has transcended a normal wrestling promo. This feels real. Punk doesn't back down. He reminds Reigns that he's the one who brought the Shield to WWE, the group that made Reigns a superstar in the first place. And Reigns fires back saying Punk brought the other two, but it was Reigns himself who became the star. The verbal sparring is relentless. Back and forth, and Punk, he's had enough. He points out that Reigns is all alone now, without his cousins, without the Shield, without even his wiseman Paul Heyman. And that's when you see it. That flicker in Reigns' eyes. Because Punk is right. The bloodline has fractured. The Usos aren't by his side anymore. Solo Sikoa turned on him. Heyman is nowhere to be found. Roman Reigns, for all his bravado, is standing in that ring by himself. And Punk knows it. He twists the knife deeper, telling Reigns that he's the reason they're main eventing WrestleMania, that Raw is his show now. The crowd is on their feet because they know something big is coming. And then, CM Punk says something that sends shockwaves through the entire arena. He tells Reigns that he went from getting beat at WrestleMania to getting buried, and then he drops the bomb. He's going to bury Reigns next to his father. Time stops. The arena goes completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. Roman Reigns' father, Sika Inoue, a WWE Hall of Famer, one half of the legendary Wild Samoans tag team, passed away in 2024. And CM Punk just invoked his name. Reigns' expression transforms from anger to disbelief to pure rage. His hands are shaking. His jaw is clenched. You can see the storm brewing behind his eyes. This isn't about championships anymore. This isn't about WrestleMania. This just became about family. This became about honor. This became personal in a way that professional wrestling rarely touches. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This is the kind of storytelling, the kind of raw emotion that we break down every single week here on SLAMZONE. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications, and let's ride this roller coaster together all the way to WrestleMania. Because trust me, this is only the beginning. Drop a comment right now and tell me how you think Roman Reigns is going to respond to this. The segment ends with CM Punk dropping the microphone and walking out of the ring, leaving Roman Reigns standing there perceiving, processing what just happened. This is a man who has been disrespected in the worst possible way. A man whose family legacy has been dragged through the mud on live television. And now, the question on everyone's mind is simple. What happens next? When CM Punk mentioned Roman Reigns' late father, he didn't just disrespect Roman, he disrespected one of the most revered members of the entire Inoue family. And if there's one thing we know about the bloodline, about that family, it's that they do not take disrespect lightly. For months, the bloodline has been fractured. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, the Usos, have been doing their own thing. They're the current World Tag Team Champions, having reunited late last year. But their relationship with Roman has been complicated. There's been tension, there's been conflict, there's been a civil war that tore the family apart. But now everything has changed. Because when you disrespect the Inoue family name, when you bring up a man who was a legend, a father, a cornerstone of one of the most important dynasties in wrestling history, you don't just make one enemy. You make enemies out of the entire family. The Usos, along with Reigns, could potentially launch a brutal assault on CM Punk for mocking the bloodline. Imagine this scenario. The next episode of Raw. CM Punk is in the ring, maybe cutting another promo, feeling untouchable. And then the music hits. Roman Reigns walks out. But he's not alone. Behind him are Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, and they're not smiling. They're on a mission. Because regardless of whatever issues they've had with Roman in the past, at the end of the day, they're family. And family comes first. The bloodline could reunite not out of love, not out of loyalty to Roman as the tribal chief, but out of respect for Sika Inoue, out of respect for their legacy, out of a need to defend the family name from someone who crossed the ultimate line. Can you imagine the visual? Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso standing side by side once again, united for one common purpose: to make CM Punk pay for what he said. But here's the thing. CM Punk knew exactly what he was doing. He's one of the most intelligent minds in professional wrestling. He understands psychology. He understands how to get under someone's skin. He reminded Reigns that he took his wise men, tried to turn his cousins against him. He's been playing mind games this entire time, trying to isolate Roman, trying to break him mentally before they even step foot in the ring at WrestleMania. But by bringing up Sika, by crossing that sacred line, Punk may have just done the one thing that brings the bloodline back together. And if that happens, this becomes so much bigger than a one-on-one championship match. This becomes a war. This becomes the bloodline versus the champion who disrespected everything they stand for. Roman Reigns could awaken a vicious side of himself ahead of WrestleMania, making it clear that no one should ever dare to mention his family's name with disrespect. We've seen Roman as the cool, collected tribal chief. We've seen him as the calculating strategist. But what if this unleashes something darker? What if we see a Roman Reigns who is purely driven by vengeance, who doesn't care about rules, who doesn't care about consequences? That version of Roman Reigns is terrifying. And CM Punk might be about to experience it firsthand. Before we wrap this up, I just want to take a moment and say thank you. Thank you for being part of the SLAMZONE family. Thank you for watching, for engaging, for caring about this crazy, beautiful world of professional wrestling as much as I do. If you've made it this far in the video, you're exactly the kind of fan we need in this community. So please hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Subscribe to SLAMZONE if you haven't already. Turn on those notifications so you never miss an upload. And share this video with your wrestling friends because this story is too insane not to talk about. Drop a comment below and let me know your predictions. Do you think the bloodline will reunite? Do you think CM Punk went too far? And who do you think is walking out of WrestleMania as World Heavyweight Champion? As we head toward WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, Everything has changed. What started as a rivalry based on ego, on legacy, on who's the better wrestler has now morphed into something deeply personal, something that transcends the business of professional wrestling and touches on real pain, real loss, real family. CM Punk threw the first punch and it was brutal. But now Roman Reigns has every reason to hit back harder than we've ever seen. And if the Usos stand beside him, if the bloodline reunites for one final stand, CM Punk is going to have to dig deeper than he ever has before. This is where legends are made. This is where careers are defined. And this is where we find out if CM Punk truly is the best in the world, or if he just made the biggest mistake of his life. WrestleMania 42 can't get here fast enough. This is SLAMZONE and we're just getting started. I'll see you in the next one. Stay locked in, stay passionate, and as always, acknowledge greatness.